Here's a video to help the guys out there that are being deceived by many women. There are actually women that buy their own bullshit, right? They claim that it's perfectly healthy for a man to be empathetic. Now, what happens when a guy acts empathetic? He's acting like a woman. You men out there are being deceived by these women, and you need to cut them off and not even give them the time of day, because they will never change. They are deliberately attempting to weaken men down, strip them from their masculinity for one, only to trap them within marriage dynamics that woman will only take for granted later on. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this, stuff out. So to the guys out there, cut these women off. Cut them off one by one, and don't take anything they say with face value. Take it with a pinch of salt, because I so happen to know the truth. If a man acts feminine, he is also the male equivalent to effeminacy. Femininity within a male is the equivalent to effeminacy. And yet these clowns think that they could try to pull the wool over my eyes and convince me that I don't know what I'm talking about and that I'm the one brainwashed. Nah, fam. Don't get it twisted. You're clearly the one that is brainwashed. You're delusional. You're in denial of the truth. And don't even for 1 minute come at me with your nonsense, because it will not wash, it will not stick. I know the truth. When a man acts feminine, I can guarantee any of you guys watching this now, you are going to make most women dry and lose attraction to you. Why is that, do you think? Do you think it's because you're acting like a man? Or do you think it's because you're acting like a woman? Use your common sense, people. Knowledge, wisdom and logic. Are we waking up yet? These women really and truly think they're winning by playing this game, by weakening men down, only to then trap them within marital dynamics that aren't even going to last long term. And they are an abomination unto the Lord thy God, because they are deliberately attempting to strip masculinity away from men. And who was it that created masculinity within a man? It was God himself. But yet the world doesn't want masculinity within men, it wants feminine energy. And is there any wonder why, like I said, there is a great collapse going on between the male and female species? Because women are deliberately attempting to brainwash men into buying their lies. Thankfully, I'm not. I happen to be switched on. I know the gospel, word for word. And yet these clowns have the audacity, along with brass neck, to try and challenge me and convince me into buying the lies. That I'm brainwashed. Oh please, give me a break. You women don't even know what you're on about. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're kindergartens, for one. You're nothing more than little boys within a woman's body. And isn't it time that you followed what the gospel said, rather than leaned upon your own understanding and tried deceiving the men out there? Because you're only making more, or should one say, you're only making your lives all the more difficult for yourselves. Because the longer you keep this facade up, like I said, the more men you are going to push away within the process. There is going to be a huge, monumental McTown movement of all men walking away, especially those that are now beginning to wake up and smell the coffee bean brewing. That they're being deceived by you masculine women out there that have brainwashed them throughout years of indoctrination and false beliefs. Guys, if you don't believe me, be empathetic, be gentle, be nurturing, be all of these things linked to femininity, yeah? And you watch the vast majority of women dry up and lose attraction for you. Because you're acting like a woman and not a man. And this is why I don't take anything these women say seriously. As a matter of fact, I love, however, pissing them off with the truth. The truth is, us men are the head of the marriage, which ultimately puts God the Father and Jesus Christ as the head of the marriage as well. But yet these women are nothing more than deluded, in denial, and full of nonsense. Nonsense. There's a clue right there. I'm the one full of common sense, yeah? These women, on the other hand, are full of nonsense. They're going around acting like little schoolboys within women's body. Within a woman's body, even. They have no clue what they're talking about. The amount of times I've shared biblical scripture exposing this, but yet they still choose not to listen. Therefore, I'll keep on doing what I do best, cutting you off one by one, unacknowledging you and not even giving you the time of day, because you are wasting my time with your nonsense. Attempting to convince me that I'm brainwashed and I don't know what I'm talking about. Please. Seriously, you women need to wake up. You're deluded. You're in denial of the truth, the real biblical truth. And you will never, in a million years, get yourself a traditional man, because you're acting like one yourselves. And is there any wonder why you are always crying, bitching and moaning later on down the line, after you've thrown us under the bus repeatedly, that you can't find no good man? Just goes to show how immature and full of nonsense you actually are. So guys, if you've got women, yeah, commenting on, say, your replies, or better yet, your videos, claiming that it's perfectly healthy, right, for a man to display empathy, then by all means, you take whatever these women say at face value. And you're going to learn pretty darn fast just how deceitful they really are. Because I can guarantee you now, when a man, like I said, and for the last and final time, acts like a woman, he is repelling the vast majority of women. Because he is acting like a woman. You're being deceived, people. The women out there included. You need to wake up and quit trying to brainwash us into believing that it's perfectly healthy to be empathetic when it's not. Empathy. Once again, listen up. I'm not going to repeat myself here. Empathy is linked to femininity, right? Femininity is also a female trait, isn't it not? Of course it is. Now, if you were to go deep inside of your own mind and your own heart and did the spiritual discerning, you would know that femininity within a man is the equivalent to effeminacy. And that right there is an abomination. It is unrighteous. Therefore, you women need to stop deceiving the men out there and start hearkening onto the real biblical word. Otherwise, you are going to make your lives all the more difficult than they already are. And you sure as hell need to stop wasting our time if you're not ready nor wanting to hearken onto the voice of truth even. Because like I said, I am done wasting my time explaining myself to women that don't want to listen. Therefore, I'm going to cut you off all the single time, and you are the ones going to rage quit every single time you get, that is, and you're going to find some other guy to try and fool. See, this is how you women work. Your bullshit doesn't work on us, right? We expose it, we bring it to light 24/7, repeatedly. You rage quit. You begin to hate yourselves, depress yourselves, stress yourselves out, because you can't find no traditional guy to take you seriously, that is. And then you move on to another guy and try and repeat the same cycle with them. And to be perfectly honest with you, with any of you watching this, it's beginning to frustrate the living hell out of me, because you are deceiving the male species. And if you even try to comment on anything I share to help awaken the guys out there, I will tear you a new one. I will leave you looking like an embarrassment party online. And I will cause an uproar between the male species that are beginning to wake up, or are awake, spiritually that is, and they will reply back if they had any common sense, along with knowledge, wisdom and logic. And this is why, like I said, I will never in a million years take the word of man nor woman, because man nor woman within today's blue-pilled society have no clue what they're talking about. It's nothing more than illusional talk. It's nothing more than empty words. No source, no life source. Nothing. Nothing but lies and deception. And this is why I would rather remain single than have my time wasted by women that have no clue how to remain or live like women. Because I know the truth. No matter how hard you try to push it on me and try to convince me that I don't know what I'm talking about, even if it means using shaming tactics, guilt tripping, manipulation, gaslighting, triangulation and all of these things, it's not going to work. Give it up. You've been exposed. The world now sees you for who you really are. And that is nothing more than schoolboys within an overgrown ass woman's body. And you will never get a traditional guy of biblical value. Never. And to put it frankly, you are wasting your time. And the time of ours that you waste is only being added onto your lives, making you all the more stricken in age and undesirable to the men. The men that you claim to want, but yet don't. There it is. So it just goes to show that God is actually in fact working within our favour.